Hello everybody. Good morning to all. Today let us continue our history lesson 2, New Kings and Kingdoms. So yesterday we studied the famous kingdoms which flourished in the 7th and 12th centuries like Pratiharas, Rashtrakutas, Palas, Chauhans or Chahamanas, etc. These kingdoms were flourished in the northern part of India. Today, let us learn about a famous kingdom which was flourished in the South India. Its name is the Chola dynasty. So today's our topic is a closer look the Cholas. So children, how did the Chola dynasty came into power? Or how did this kingdom established their power in the South Indian regions? So first let me share you a story about a chiefly family. So, in the 10th century, see the South India, especially Tamil Nadu region, this region was under the control of the Pallavas. So, Pallavas, about the Pallavas we learned in the 6th standard, Chalukyas and Pallavas. So, this Tamil Nadu region, that is Kaveri Delta, River Kaveri and its neighboring areas. These regions were ruled by the Pallava kings. So, a very rich family, a chiefly family called Muttarayar family. So, this Muttarayar family was a Samanta of Pallava kings. They were subordinate of Pallava kings. Later, this Muttarayar family captured Kaveri Delta from Pallavas. Then, another chiefly family, it is known as Chola family. See, Vijayala. Vijayala is a famous member of Chola family and he defeated this Muttarayar family and captured Kaveri Delta. Understood? So now Kaveri Delta and the surrounding region was under the control of Vijayala. So Vijayala was the founder of Chola Empire and he built the famous city Tanjavur and also many temples. And he built a temple for goddess Nishumba Suddhini. The name of the goddess is Nishumba Suddhini. And after the death of Vijayala, his successors means his children, okay, grandchildren. His successors ascended the throne and they captured many South and North Indian territories. Then among the successors of Vijayala, Rajaraja I. Rajaraja I is the very famous ruler of Chola dynasty. Rajaraja I. Then after when he became the ruler in the year 985 CE. So he expanded the empire and his administration was very well developed administration. And after the death death of Rajaraja I, his son Rajendra I became the ruler of Chola dynasty. See, Rajendra I, he was a conqueror, warrior, and he conquered many areas. The Chola Empire expanded its size. See, Rajendra, he conquered Sri Lanka, then Southeast Asia and Ganga Valley. And it is said that Rajendra had a well-developed navy, naval force. Okay, so children, once more, a chiefly family called Muttariyar. They were the Samantas of Pallava kings, and this Muttariyar family captured Kaveri Delta from Pallavas. Then later, Vijayala, a famous Chola, he belongs to a Chola family, and he captured Kaveri Delta. Thus he established his rule. Then he built the city of Tanjavur. Tanjavur is the capital city of Chola dynasty, and he built a temple for the goddess Nishumbasudini. Then after his death, his successors also conquered many regions. See, among them, the very famous was Rajaraja I. And after Rajaraja, Rajendra I became the ruler. He conquered Sri Lanka, Southeast Asia, Ganga Valley, and he had a very well developed navy. So children, let me show you the map. See, Chola kingdom and its neighboring states. So children, can you see this? Here. So okay, see here you can see this shaded region. These regions were under the control of Cholas. See here, so Tanjavur. Then Kanchi. Kanchi means Kanchipuram. Okay. Then Gangaikonda, Cholapuram. All these were very important cities during the Cholas period. Then Urayur, another city. Then here you can see Kaveri River. Kaveri River and Kaveri Delta. See, Kaveri River finally joins with the Bay of Bengal. Then here you can see the Pandyas, Madurai. Okay, these were very important cities during the Chola period. Next children, let us move to the topic splendid temples and bronze sculptures. So, look at this image. It is a very famous temple constructed during the Chola period. See, this temple is at Gangaikonda, Cholapuram. And this temple was constructed by Rajendra Chola. And this temple is, see, very beautiful because its architectural style is different from today's temple. See, you can see that the design of the temple, and see on the walls many carvings of gods and goddesses. So, because of this, see, these temples were the marvels, wonders of, see, architectural beauty. Then children, these Chola temples, in and around the Chola temples, see, lot of people settled around these temples. And see, many people engaged with different type of occupations. These were the centers, these temples were the centers of craft production. And for the construction of temples, the kings provided land. Kings and other wealthy people provided land for the construction of temples. And the produce of this land was taken by people like, see, priest, garland makers, sweepers, musicians, dancers, cooks, etc. Because all these people were worked around this temple. So the produce was taken by these people. So children, as I told you, the temples were in and around the temples. See, many people engaged with craft works. So, among this craft work, the Chola bronze images were very famous. See, this Chola bronze images were considered the finest bronze images in the world. These images were of about the deities and goddesses. Sometimes they made the images of devotees also. Next children, let us learn about agriculture and irrigation. That is, agriculture and irrigation activities during Chola period. So, during the Chola period, agriculture was flourished. See, the area of forest lands were cleared and the land was brought under cultivation. And they leveled many hills and the land was used for agricultural activities. And being near to the Kaveri river, the land was already very fertile. So agriculture was possible. So, to encourage the farmers, see, these rulers made lot of activities for bringing water, for irrigation works, for watering the crops. The rulers constructed embankments. That is, see, wall across a river. Embankment means a wall built across a river. So, it prevented flooding of the near areas during the rainy season. Then they built canals to give water for agricultural land. Then the farmers generally grew 2 different crops in a year. And during the summer season also we need water. So the farmers depended on artificial irrigation methods. In some areas, they built artificial tanks. That is, huge tanks were constructed to collect rainwater. And some other areas, they dug wells. So these were some of the artificial methods used for irrigation. Okay, so children, I hope that you understood today's topic. Today we learned about the Chola Empire and the important rulers, the temples and agriculture during this period. So the remaining topic we will discuss in the next class. So thank you children. Thank you very much.